Hello, my name is Gabe, and welcome to a kind of an experimental show. Kind of an experimental game show. I'm going to quiz my friend, Anime Pharaoh,
Hi.
here, about an anime. But before he has to, and his goal is to guess the entire plot of the anime he's never heard of before. Before he can, though, he gets to ask 30 questions, of which I will answer with brief answers. If he wants more than that, he has to use his 5 elaborations, in which I'll go into further detail in whatever question he answered. Now, one thing I will give him is this anime is about... Let me double check here to make sure I know for sure.
Main character is a male.
I mean, I didn't ask. You didn't ask that yet. We're not there yet. So I'm going to try to get the amount of episodes right. Because I don't want to tell you, oh, it's this many episodes when it's actually this many episodes. Is 24 episodes long, divided into 2 seasons. It is valvrave.
Seasons.
2 seasons, yes.
Okay.
It's valvrave the Liberator. Your 30 questions start now.
Is it a liberal anime?
No.
I was just kidding. That was a joke. Alright,
Next.
first. Is the character male?
Yes.
Male character. Okay, got it. I'm writing these down, by the way.
Gotcha.
Is the age teenage or is it adults?
Teenage.
Teenager. Got it.
Reminder, you have 5 elaborations you can use whenever you want.
Understandable. Okay, what is the genre?
Mech.
Okay. Now, let's see. What kind of mechs do they use, per se? Is it like simple mechs, or is it more high advanced tech mechs?
Advanced.
Okay. Is there aliens?
Yes.
Are the aliens human?
No.
Like, do they look human?
Yes.
That's my point. That you should
Right.
just said yes.
Yeah, okay, then yes. They look human.
Is there a princess involved?
Yes.
Okay. Princess. Now, do the main character, like the one we focus on the most, let's say, does he have a low tech mech?
No.
So he has a high tier mech compared
I mean,
to the
that's-
aliens. That's what I mean. Because aliens usually have higher tech.
You may have to use an elaboration to get a good answer on this one. I'm gonna be honest.
Alright. May I make a guess now of what the story plot is?
I mean, you can, but you still have 23 questions left.
Oh, fuck. Fair. Okay, let's continue through.
And you also haven't used any of your elaborations yet.
Okay, elaborate on...
You want me to elaborate on the previous question?
Yeah.
The aliens do not actually... For the most part, barring a few exceptions, the aliens don't actually use many mechs.
But they do send out mechs.
They have like one or two, but
One
not
or
many.
two that drop down at a time. Because their mechs are higher tiered than humans.
They're okay. Are you phrasing that as a question?
Yeah.
Their mechs, the mechs they do use, are less advanced than the ones the main characters use.
Okay. Does the main character have a ability through his eye?
Through his eye?
Yes.
No.
Okay, this is pretty similar though. Okay. Is his goal to save the princess?
No.
No. Okay. No saving. Princess. Does he try to protect the princess?
At any point in the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a point where that happens.
Okay. Trying to think deep. Okay, so far I've used up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
You have 19 questions left, and you've used one elaboration, leaving 4 of those left.
Does this anime just evolve around taking out the aliens and freeing their people?
No. There's definitely more going on.
Not trying to save world. Okay. Are the aliens per se bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Still have 4 elaborations left.
Does the character get any abilities?
Yes.
Elaborate.
He can body swap with people.
That's an interesting. Okay. Does he body swap with people? Does he have a limit?
No. Or at the very least, not explored in the show.
Okay. Is he trying to change the government?
No?
What?
I'm gonna give you a kind of a small clue. That's a soft no.
Yeah, he's trying to make it into the government. Like he's trying to make it up like the list, basically.
That is not what he's trying to do at all. If that's your question, no.
Okay, he's not trying to improve.
Well, he's not trying to rank up. As a reminder, you have 3 elaborations left. And 14 questions left.
Is this guy cold-hearted?
No.
Okay, so he's kind. Interesting. Is there even a plot?
There is absolutely a plot. I'm going to state that this is the one time your elaborations are locked. You cannot elaborate on this question because that would be cheating.
Yeah, obviously. Does he have an endangered family member?
Yes.
Okay. Is he poor?
Not particularly.
So he's not wealthy.
I mean,
Elaborate where his family comes from.
his dad's a scientist. His mom is who knows. And that's about all the information we're given on it. Like, I cannot elaborate anymore because that's as much focus as the show even puts on it in the first place.
Okay. Does he have a sister?
No.
Brother?
Or, yeah. Are these our whole questions?
Yeah, it's like siblings, basically. This is one question.
Okay, one question. No siblings.
Okay,
you have 2 more elaborations left, but I wouldn't use them here.
Which family member is kidnapped?
It's his dad.
That's what I thought. Okay.
You mean the one family member that is established to have existed?
Yeah. That was such a dumbass question. Why the fuck did I even ask it?
Who knows? You
Um.
want to use one of your elaborations here?
No.
You have, I believe, 3 more elaborations left.
He's coming to save his father. I know that.
Is that your question?
Does he go? Yeah, well, that's probably the whole point of, like, almost a little bit of the anime is him coming to go save his father. So I can leave that part out because obviously if they brought up his father and how he's a scientist and that he's in danger, clearly he wants to save him. So I'm going to scratch that part off. No questions from there. Does his character have friends?
Yes.
Okay, he has friends. He's not lonely. He isn't lonely.
You have 3 more elaborations left. 7 questions left.
Describe his friends. What do they do? Yeah.
All right, that's 2 more elaborations. Okay. Well, his friends are his classmates at school. One of them is the student council president. The other is the president, and a few of them also pilot mechs.
Okay, so they're doing school. Okay, school for piloting.
I never said the school's purpose was teaching them to pilot.
Yeah, but they pilot. If they're piloting fucking mechs, then clearly the school pilots mechs.
All right. Either way, you have 7 questions left. 2 more elaborations. What's your next question?
Elaborate on these aliens. What is their goal?
Well, just to elaborate in general, they are kind of these parasitic things that basically like take over human bodies. So they take over human hosts and like pretend to be them, and their goal is just kind of to get to be able to feed on humans. without being discovered.
That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. All right, you have one elaboration left. 7 more questions.
Is this a survival show?
Like, are they trying to survive some kind of apocalypse or something?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Not apocalyptical. What is his ranking?
His ranking
Yes.
does not have one.
No ranking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, clear as day, he stole it. He stole the mecha.
Are you asking that as a question?
Yes.
No.
So he doesn't steal it, he has them. Who gives people fucking mechs that they have no rank? The fuck?
Are you asking that as a question?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Remember, you have one more elaboration left.
What does the main character strive for?
To protect everybody.
So then his whole goal is to wipe out the alien race.
Is that your question?
Yes.
No.
How do you protect everyone? What? He's useless.
I mean, whether he does it or not, or it's his goal, he can do something and have it not be his goal.
Still, that's part of the anime. He wants to get his father back.
Are you asking that as a question?
Yes.
No.
Doesn't want his father back.
You have one more question left and also one elaboration left. So keep that in mind as you ask your next 2 things.
What is important from this anime?
What is important?
Yes.
Keeping all the students alive.
Oh, he's a student protecting the school. Okay.
All right. And what's your last elaboration? Because it's your last thing you can ask me.
Does his friends die?
So you're asking elaboration. Are you asking, do they all die or do some of them die?
Elaborate.
Elaborate on, like, do characters die? Yes, this character this show does have quite a high body count.
From
In
the
fact,
school?
Yes, from the school.
Okay.
That is it. All right, tell me what you think the plot of this anime is.
Alright, school. Okay, the whole government got corrupted because these alien things have come down. And they're feeding off of humans by also being humans and making themselves blend in. Now, most of them are actually in schools as well. And this character, main character, whatever, gets his father his father gets kidnapped by aliens. I'm guessing because he's a scientist, and scientists have a lot of, like good intelligence on that kind of stuff. So like he'd definitely be able to help them with their mechas and shit by forcing him. On top of that, his father ends up dying, probably second season, like the ending of season 1. And this main character wants to protect all his friends at this high school.
That is your guess?
And then he ends up wiping out the mothership or whatever with his friends, and he loses half his classmates.
Okay. That is interesting, and it makes sense based on the information you had. Before we start, I'll kind of point out kind of the wrong path you were following. Okay. You'd kind of convinced yourself that the aliens are way more important than they are. The honest truth, they don't really show up and have any prominence till the second season.
Well,
they're present, but have no prominence.
Weird.
And the same for his father, in fact. And his father gets like 2 episodes where we know he exists. Time for the real and important plot summary of this show.
Okay.
If you want to just watch it yourself someday, you can leave and I'll just do it in the video, or you can listen yourself.
You can tell me.
Alright, so basically, the main character, whose name is Haruto, is basically the world has been divided into 2 nations, and both the nations have galactic spanning empires. One is actually not 2. One is basically the States, and the other is Russia. They're not called that, but you know that that's what they are. Japan still exists and still retains independency, but it's a much, much smaller nation. In a school in a satellite, the Russian students come and attack that school. Trying to stop the attack, Haruto finds and save his love interest. Haruto finds a mech in the basement of the school. He gets in it, and the mech asks him, "If you want to pilot me, you have to sacrifice your humanity." He does so, and basically gets to pilot the mech, and acquires cool body-switching powers, which he uses against the seemingly leader of the Russian guys. He then and that Russian guy end up forming a bit of an alliance, as the Russians are trying to basically destroy that school and basically destroy Japan. As it turns out, the reason the Russians are trying to do that is because in their high-up government has been infiltrated by a few aliens. Mm-hmm. It is worth noting that the mechs are powered by aliens, but different but similar aliens to the ones that invaded the government. And basically what they are, they're all vampires. And that's basically what Haruto turned into. Except for instead of drinking blood, they specifically drink memories. And the idea is Haruto cannot power the mechs if he doesn't have enough memories in his body. It gets weird.
Yeah, he starts feeding off his friends' memories and shit. Okay.
No, he never does.
Oh, okay.
Him and the Russian guy end up forming an alliance, and basically he only feeds off of him to get the memories. The problem is, even with that, the more he pilots it, the more of his memories he also loses. And eventually they find other mechs, because it turns out the entire school was actually a secret experiment to develop pilots for the mechs. And his father turns out... But they weren't being trained for that. They were being trained as actual students, and that's what they thought they were going in for. Mm-hmm. It's just that they were basically expected to have their bodies hijacked. His father was, as it turns out, a huge asshole who totally wanted him, and all Haruto wanted to do was to stop being this thing and just get back to a normal life. His father was just kind of an asshole.
Oh.
Hence the not really wanting to save him thing.
Okay.
And basically what ends up happening is events ensue, and eventually, like, it comes to fruition that he has to, like, go a last stand against the aliens, and he eventually beats them, but he loses everything, and so do basically all of his friends who are also piloting the mechs. Most of the students live, but specifically his friends who are piloting the mechs do die. And that's the plot summary, as best I can give it.
Okay.
Again, like I said, the aliens aren't as important because they're not really introduced until the second season. And yeah, like I said, he didn't steal it, he found it. It's also worth noting that, like, the weird vampire alien magic thing is in effect.
Mm-hmm. I did say powers. You didn't really say much about the powers when I asked for elaboration on abilities.
Yeah, I mean, really, as far as I'm concerned, his only power is the body switching thing.
But he's a vampire. He can take memories. You could have told me that stuff. That's an ability.
It's not really an ability, and it's kind of tied into the body switching thing. When he bites you, he switches bodies with you.
Oh, okay.
And it's not like he can choose to do one or the other. If he bites you, he's switching bodies.
But if you ask somebody to elaborate, you have to elaborate on the ability.
I mean, I wouldn't consider needing to eat memories to survive an ability. I'd consider that a restriction, a weakness, and that's how the show treats it in the first place.
And you still mentioned that because I could have just asked what abilities does he have. That's a question. Fair. But if I ask for an elaboration on abilities, Gabe, you're supposed to give me an elaboration on abilities.
Fair enough. Either way.
That's why I was so thrown off, because I seen him as completely human with just the ability to control bodies.
Fair enough. And I should also mention, for the most part of the series, that's how he's treated.
Mm-hmm.
As completely human with the ability to switch bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the action and all that is all done in mech. In fact, even the memory thing is revealed very late on in the show. Either way, that's our inaugural anime quiz.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. Have a good night.